In this video, we will discuss 5 things that every patient who has successfully reversed kidney disease is doing. If you follow these 5 things, your chances of reversing kidney disease will skyrocket. Let me tell you, despite what you may have heard, that CKD, chronic kidney disease, patients are destined to lose kidney function progressively. CKD patients can and will improve. But here's the key point, that improvement only happens if they receive the right treatment and take the right actions. This is not just my opinion, it is a fact supported by science. So, the question I want to answer today is, what are the essential things you must do if you want to reverse kidney disease? These are the 5 steps that everyone who has succeeded has taken, and they are non-negotiable. Think of them as the commandments of CKD management. Starting with number 5, keep your blood pressure naturally low. Now, the right approach to managing blood pressure may be one of the biggest puzzles in CKD treatment today. Blood pressure is the silent disease that can quickly become your worst nightmare. You don't hear it, you don't see it, but you feel it when the damage is done. Many patients develop kidney disease because they have had high blood pressure all their lives. Meanwhile, others receive a new gift, high blood pressure caused by CKD. Fortunately, we now have truly effective medications. And let me be clear, if you don't want your health journey to become a fast track to disaster, you must always keep your blood pressure below 130/80. And I can assure you that every doctor out there, even the one who is always 3 hours late and prescribes statins for everything, will agree with this. 130/80 is not just a number, it is the safe zone for your kidneys. If you exceed that level, your kidneys will begin to weaken. Can you naturally enhance your kidney improvement by managing your blood pressure? In fact, according to medical literature, patients who keep their blood pressure stable while using fewer medications have shown improved kidney function. What you see here comes from an article that is shaking up the entire CKD world. It's a big deal. It says that, without a doubt, maintaining low blood pressure is crucial, no one disputes that, but if you truly want to improve kidney function, you have to do it without turning your medicine cabinet into a pharmacy. You don't need a whole CVS store on your bedside table. In fact, this study shows that patients who improved used significantly fewer ACE inhibitors, ARBs, and diuretics than those who didn't improve. So, how do we naturally keep blood pressure stable? There are many methods we can use to lower blood pressure without relying on excessive medication. Perhaps the safest and most effective is garlic supplementation. Garlic has a massive positive impact on blood pressure, which is fully backed by science. If you take garlic supplements properly and regularly, you can completely eliminate at least one of your prescriptions for high blood pressure. Now, another thing you should consider adding is CoQ10. This supplement is also strongly supported by science, though it may be slightly less effective than garlic. In fact, it works in a completely different way. While garlic lowers blood pressure by improving blood vessel flexibility and reducing angiotensin-converting enzyme activity, CoQ10 helps more by boosting mitochondrial energy production. This makes your heart work better, but it comes with one caveat: it is only effective if your body's CoQ10 reserves are low to begin with. This means that while almost everyone will respond well to garlic, only those with low CoQ10 levels will benefit from this supplement. So how do you know if CoQ10 will help you? It's very simple. You start taking it and regularly measure and record your blood pressure. Now, the thing about CoQ10 is that when it works, it works. Your blood pressure can drop by 20/10 millimeters of mercury, which is like saying goodbye to at least one medication. For some patients, it may take just 2 supplements to not only put high blood pressure into remission but also CKD itself. But of course, when you also add dietary and lifestyle changes, you can make the biggest difference in your medication needs, such as limiting sodium, adjusting potassium intake, and of course, exercising. You see, exercise is something that works to lower blood pressure in everyone, and the effect can be significant. Many people almost completely stop needing medication just by making these 2 lifestyle changes. So, get moving as if your life depends on it. Run, walk, dance, anything that gets your heart pumping and your blood pressure dropping. But let's be realistic, no one is asking you to run a marathon tomorrow. Start slowly. We are aiming for endurance, not a thigh muscle injury. Next, number 4, let's talk about the root cause of the disease. When it comes to kidney health, there is no improvement if we don't stop the cause of the damage. For nearly half of CKD patients, that hole is called diabetes. Now, diabetes medications are somewhat less controversial than blood pressure medications. You don't see people yelling at pharmacists about their metformin prescription, at least not often. But you see, there's something even better than medication: putting diabetes into remission. There was a time when it was believed that people with diabetes for 6 years or longer could not achieve remission. But now, things have changed thanks to a new study. It has finally proven that even patients with type 2 diabetes for 11 years can achieve diabetes remission. But how did they achieve full remission from diabetes? Diabetes remission is defined as having an HbA1c below 6.5% without using medication, and the secret for most patients is the classic duo: exercise and weight loss. Now, let's be honest, there is no magic pill for exercise. You still have to put in the effort, no supplement will do the work for you. Anyway, we can still find things that help control diabetes naturally, even for the weight loss part. One of the supplements that can be extremely effective for people with diabetes is berberine. In fact, berberine is often compared to metformin in terms of effectiveness, but without most of the unpleasant side effects. This is where things get even more interesting. Berberine doesn't just lower blood sugar, it also helps with weight loss, something metformin doesn't do very well. This is why I often recommend taking 500 milligrams 3 times a day, about half an hour before meals. Think of it as a way to kickstart your metabolism to really work well at dinner. Let me know if you want me to improve the phrasing for a more natural and engaging style. In fact, berberine not only reduces glucose production in the body, it also seems to have an appetite-suppressing effect for most people. Now, another thing I also recommend for diabetes is chromium. Chromium is an essential trace element that we can get from supplements and also from foods in small amounts. This substance helps stabilize and lower blood sugar levels by improving insulin sensitivity. Here's the thing about berberine and chromium: they're great, but they're not magic. You can't just take a pill and expect to wake up without diabetes. You still have to put in the effort. It's not like medications; those drugs are like heavy artillery in diabetes management. Sure, they're not as natural as berberine, but they really get the job done quickly and effectively. So, if your doctor says you need those medications, use them. Because they may not be as natural as berberine, but they're also much more effective. It's a trade-off I'm absolutely willing to accept. And it's not that you can't use them together, in some way. But here's the thing: while supplements like berberine can provide excellent support, they're just one piece of the puzzle. If you really want to transform your kidney health, especially if diabetes is also present, the foundation of your success will be your diet. When it comes to diets for CKD and diabetes, many people feel confused. They've been told to be careful or even avoid carbs because they have diabetes. Maybe they've also heard to be cautious with high potassium foods and might even need to limit protein as well. And you see, the problem here is that all of these recommendations can help, they all have a basis in truth. I know this might sound confusing, and to make things worse, you definitely need a diet that you can actually stick to long term if your goal is to protect your kidney health. So, your diet doesn't just need to work on paper, it needs to work on your plate. Next, number 3, check your thyroid. If you can't lose weight, raise your hand if you've tried every popular diet from keto to cabbage soup and still can't shed pounds. And here's the important thing, it may not be your fault. If you have end-stage kidney disease and diabetes and are trying to lose weight, that's what it feels like when you're trying to lose weight with an underactive thyroid. Eat less. Move more. What they don't tell you is that if you have kidney disease, you are much more likely to have an underactive thyroid compared to most people. And statistically, 60% of CKD patients with thyroid issues are completely undiagnosed. Your thyroid is like a ninja, stealthily undermining your health while everyone is busy telling you to watch your portions. And to make things worse, having an underactive thyroid doesn't just make winning the fight against diabetes and kidney disease harder, it also leads to bone density loss, a condition called renal osteodystrophy, which will cause permanent damage to your bones. I think this is something your doctor should check, right? So, if you have symptoms like fatigue, cold intolerance, and unexplained weight gain, get your thyroid checked. Make sure you're being tested for PTH levels if you have kidney disease. Number 2, take care of the most common complications of CKD. In fact, having high PTH levels and thyroid problems is just one of the complications that kidney disease can cause. It's not even the most common complication. There's one complication that about 7 out of 10 CKD patients have, most without knowing it and most without controlling it, and it reduces your GFR faster. That complication is anemia. You know, recent statistics have revealed a very concerning figure. Up to 72.8% of people with kidney disease also suffer from iron deficiency anemia. That's an astonishing number. Doctors often ignore anemia. But unfortunately, according to studies, only a small percentage of patients with this issue receive proper attention. Can you guess how many? Only 4%. That's not just a statistic, it's a tragedy. It's like your doctor sees the anemia and says, "Oh, we'll deal with that later," and then it turns into dialysis. If you have anemia and don't treat it, make sure to monitor your hemoglobin levels regularly. Another very serious complication that we need to address for success is metabolic acidosis. This is also very common and can lead to a faster decline in GFR. Like any complication, it's a vicious cycle. When GFR decreases, people often have more difficulty maintaining proper acid-base balance in their bodies, which can lead to acid buildup in the blood. This is the definition of metabolic acidosis. This complication is so common that in the literature, there is evidence that people have reversed GFR decline simply by taking care of metabolic acidosis. And there's just one step that's even more important. Number 1, control phosphorus intake. As I said, a renal diet can be the most crucial step of all when it comes to preventing and reversing the decline in GFR levels. There are numerous documented cases of patients who have reversed kidney disease simply by following a simple renal diet. One of the most important aspects of a renal diet is controlling phosphorus intake, not only because phosphorus is naturally related to protein intake, but because phosphorus itself is one of the worst toxins for the kidneys. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Wishing you all the best. Goodbye.